If your computer is hacked, infected, running slow, or has errors, then this video is for you. And if it's not for you right now, click that save button because you may need me in the future, or maybe you have a friend that will need me in the future, and I'm here for you.
Nico knows tech, all your tech tips and reviews on deck. Nico knows tech, #1 channel with the news on check.
In 2020, I released a tutorial which showed you how to remove any virus from Windows in one step, and it achieved over 1.7 million views. Well, in this 2022 version, I'm going to show you how to use this method in a more streamlined, faster, and more tailored way to remove malware from your machine, as well as increase performance, enhance privacy, and repair Windows issues. So stay tuned. Our connected world is under attack by ravenous wolves we commonly call hackers, identity thieves, and scammers. Gone are the days where some common sense was sufficient enough to ensure a safe online experience. Now is the time to put a sheepdog in between you and the wolves by getting ESET, the premier security suite recommended by experts and used by yours truly for the better part of a decade. ESET combines the highest malware detection rates as well as a hardened firewall and state-of-the-art intrusion detection system to protect your Windows PC, Linux machines, Macs, and even phones from threats large and small, with the ability to detect and stop even a human hacker on your network. Use my exclusive partner link in description to get $20 off ESET Internet Security, Smart Security, and even business products. Now the tool that we're going to use, just like my previous video, is TronScript. You can get it at the link in description. You'll find it right here on Reddit. However, we're going to do things a little bit more advanced. So we'll go ahead and go here. You'll see it right here pinned by the moderators. And it may look different when you get it because this is regularly updated and they do update the thread, but it will still be here. It's going to be under the thread for Tron. The version we're looking at right now is 12.0.2. It was updated on 3/28/2022, but this is updated regularly, sometimes every week, so don't worry if it's a different version. It's going to be the same process no matter what. Once you click the link, we're going to go ahead and scroll down and you'll see there's many options to download. You can get one that's closer to your location, or you can just go to the official. I'm going to go ahead and get the official through HTTPS right here. And then we're going to download the exe right here. If you want to torrent it, go ahead. If you're having connectivity problems or bandwidth issues and you want to prefer to do a torrent, I'm going to go ahead and download the exe. Once it's done downloading, we're not going to open it through the browser. We're going to go to the File Explorer and then navigate to Downloads. And as long as you haven't changed the default download location within your browser, it's going to default to right here. The icon here has a 7-zip icon because I use 7-zip, but if you don't use 7-zip, it'll probably be just a white square. The icon's not important. Just make sure you have Tron. It'll have the version number, whichever one it is. And we're going to go ahead and click that and drag it over to the desktop. You can also minimize the browser and click and drag it this way, copy and paste, as long as it's on the desktop. Okay, it's over here. And then next we're going to right click on it and run it as administrator. This is going to extract all the tools within this script package so that we can do everything we need to do. And if you don't see it right away, right click on the desktop and click refresh. And it'll be a Tron folder and integrity verification. These are the two folders. That's all we need. Within Tron folder and then resources, we have all the different parts of the script, and you're going to be able to use just part of it or all of it. Now we have a total of 10 folders here, and you'll be able to skip and choose which of these you want to do, and I'll go through all the steps with you. First one is functions. We're not going to cover this today because this is where we can modify the automated parts of the script. If you're just going to follow my original video, you can tailor it to your needs that way, but we're not going to cover that in this video. You want to see that? Subscribe for more. We're going to cover prep, which everyone's going to do. I'm also going to put timestamps so you can skip in between the different parts of this tutorial. Then Temp Clean, which is of course going to cover temp files. Debloat, which is going to improve system performance. Disinfect, which is the meat of the malware removal. And repairs, patches, optimizations, and then wrap up, and then of course the custom scripts and manual tools. But first we're going to start with stage 0, prep. Now stage 2 prep, I think none of you guys should skip. Everyone should be doing the stage 0 prep because it's going to back up your machine's registry. It's going to create a restore point. It's going to create a snapshot. And so if anything goes the way you don't want it and you don't like the outcome after running this script, then you can always go back in time to where we are right now. It's also going to run all of the rootkit scanners. If you don't know what a rootkit is, it's a very hard to detect system level infection, which can oftentimes be persistent, and they're really the most dangerous out there other than ransomware. So you definitely want to run this stage. And you're going to go down here to stage 0 prep.bat. It might not say bat for you if you don't have extensions. You might just say stage 0 prep. We're going to go ahead and right click on it and then run as administrator. Then this window is going to pop up and we're going to be able to see everything it does. It's creating a restore point just like I showed you. Now if you want to recover your machine back to a restore point at a later time, you will go right over here to the search and just type create a restore point, and it'll come right here. And then you'll click system restore, and then you'll see a recommended restore, or you can choose a different restore point. We can click next, and it says Tron pre-run checkpoint. This is the one that Tron just created, that we just created. If you click that and then go next, 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 it's going to take your computer back in time exactly the way it was before you ran the script. So that's the main reason why we do the prep. And in here it is launching rkill. Now rkill, as I said in the other videos, it's going to look for any malware or malicious tasks that are running in the background, and it's going to kill them. That way the scanners can detect them properly. A lot of malware can't be detected if they're running because they create kind of a smoke screen. If at any time you suspect that the script may be stalled, just be patient. The best thing you can do is leave it alone. But if you do think that it is stalled, just click inside the console window and hit spacebar. And if it was stalled, you'll see a bunch of text start moving after that. Everything here is normal, normal, normal. It's doing a full check, and now it's starting to run McAfee Stinger. McAfee Stinger looks for a particular type of rootkit, and it's pretty effective. I'm not a big fan of all McAfee products, but this standalone tool is pretty effective. And poof, the window disappeared. The window automatically closes when it finishes, unlike the automated Tron, so it's not going to give us any kind of indication of the results. I'll show you at the end how to check the logs to see the results of the test, but at this point, you're good to go. It's done. We can go to the next step. So we're going to go back up here to the resources folder where we were, and we're going to go to stage 1 Temp Clean. Now stage 1 Temp Clean is going to clear your temp files, SSL cache, Windows Update cache, basically all of the temporarily downloaded garbage that Windows may or may not get to. It's supposed to delete it on a time basis, but if you're having space issues, you need to recover some space now, this is a good step. This is not required for the whole process, but it's a good one, and but it's totally optional. You don't have to do this one. You can skip this if you don't need to clear any space. We can go ahead and right click and run it as administrator, and it's going to go ahead and launch it. Now I know some of you guys noticed that there's CCleaner involved. This is running the old version before there was a problem within CCleaner. I don't know if CCleaner's gotten any better, but there was an issue with a few versions being a bit of a privacy issue and not being that trustworthy, but it's not doing a big registry clean or anything. It's mostly using the temp file because it's super easy to use CCleaner within a script. And again, when the window closes, it means it's done. You might see more showing up on your screen. I'm doing this on a custom computer so that we can save some time, but it may take 20 minutes for you, but then after it's done, it'll do the same thing and close. After that, we can go back to the resources folder, and then we can go to stage 2 Debloat, another optional one, but it is highly recommended. However, you want to consider some things that I'll go over. Now right now what it's doing is it's comparing the GUID list against 7,114 blacklisted entries. So they have a list of the known junkware applications, and it's looking for any of those. So things like Candy Crush and the stuff that comes on HP computers that tries to sell you things, trials of Microsoft Office, the ones that just try to sell you Office. It's looking for all those. It's going to remove toolbars, any type of junk that typically comes with computers. Now in my previous video, a lot of people were commenting about errors about shutting down are safe to ignore, and they wondered if that was a bad thing. No, that just means it's going to have errors because it's going to try to uninstall things that aren't even on the system because it's going through a list, and it'll say it's an error about shutting down. Because that application says it needs to reboot in order to remove the application. Since this is removing applications through the PowerShell, it's overriding any of those things. Normally when you uninstall an application, you're gonna have to go through the menu, the graphic user interface, click next, 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 and then finish. When you're done through the PowerShell, it's done through the back end, it overrides all of that. But it does display the error about shutting down. But it's safe to ignore, just like the script says. And after it automatically closes the window, we can go ahead and go back to Resources, and then to the next step. Now for the meat of this tutorial, removing viruses. We've already covered some of them through the prep where we removed some rootkits, but here is the big disinfect. This is also the most lengthy process, so be prepared for this to take an hour or more. If you have a very fast system, then this could be quicker. It could take anywhere from 30 minutes to 7 hours. It really depends on your system. If you have a mechanical hard disk drive as your system drive, it could be on the longer side. And you'll right click here and then run as administrator. First is going to, it already has Malwarebytes on my system, but it's installing Malwarebytes on your system, and you'll see it here on your desktop somewhere. This part you do have to babysit it, and you'll have to click scan now. And over here, it's running Kaspersky Virus Removal Tool. It's also going to run Sophos and a couple other virus removers, and that's why it's so effective. Is Tron runs literally at least one type of every type of scanner to cover all the different types of threats. So this will go through, it'll tell you all the things that it's detected, and then we can also review it in C:/logs, which I'll show you at the very end. I'm not going to sit here and wait for it, but if you want to see a full detailed view of this, go ahead and check my video up here, my original Remove All Viruses, where I cover the gritty details of every single step. But when this is finished, you'll just close this window if it doesn't already close for you.
Right now, big tech is collecting data on everything you do online and building a profile on you for financial gain, and you don't see a penny of it. Take back your privacy and take back control over your connected life by using a reliable VPN. Unsecure websites and public Wi-Fis are the easiest ways hackers can wreak havoc in your lives. But if you have NordVPN with its military-grade encryption, lightning-fast speed, and over 5,000 servers worldwide, you can browse safely and privately. NordVPN also has state-of-the-art dedicated peer-to-peer servers to protect your usage from your ISP, as well as Big Brother, and with advanced obfuscation servers, you can access blocked websites or even streaming services such as Netflix, Hulu, and more anywhere in the world. NordVPN has a strict no-logs policy and has never and will never be pressured by governments. Take back your privacy today and use my exclusive link in the description to get a huge discount on NordVPN. Stay safe.
And once Malwarebytes is done scanning, you're going to have this window. It's going to show you any threats that it's detected, and then you just click Quarantine Selected, and then you're done. After that, you can close Malwarebytes, and you can uninstall it if you like through Add and Remove Programs in Windows. After your disinfect is done, we can go ahead and go back to Resources, and then Stage 4, which is Repair. This one is extremely useful. It's going to run 3 types of repairs. It's going to run an SFC, it's going to run a DISM, and also an MSI cleanup. So 90% of Windows issues, whether it be the Start menu not working, or Windows opening up, different programs opening up and then closing, various performance-related issues can be solved with these fixes. I have some videos where we do these manually, but in this it's just automated. All you really have to do is right click here and run as administrator. First is running DISM, or the Deployment Imaging Services and Management tool. This is going to compare your computer's installation, your Windows installation, with what Microsoft Windows Update has. And if any of the packages or aspects of it need to be replaced because they're corrupted, it'll automatically download them from Microsoft Windows Update and replace it on your computer. So very powerful tool. This can often fix a lot of Windows Update errors, where if your machine lost power and shut down during a critical Windows update, this can often fix it. Alright, and then once the DISM is done, it says if we have any issues, it said no image corruption detected. That's great. Now it's running an SFC. An SFC, or System File Checker, is literally checking everything in System32, all your system files that are critical for Windows, and is going to automatically repair those as well. It has a very high success rate, and 90% of the times when I get a customer's computer, or even my friend comes over and says, hey, this thing's not working right, an SFC will often resolve it. Matter of fact, during last step, I had a weird restart. My machine crashed. I guess I was doing way too much at the same time during some virus removals, and it just restarted the machine. And when I rebooted the machine, my start menu wouldn't open up, and it was saying permission issues. I just opened up Command Prompt and ran the SFC that is running right now and fixed it right away. After it's done here, if it has any errors, it'll say that if you reboot, it'll fix it during restart. Sometimes it may say it couldn't fix it, but it'll often give you a link to where you can download the replacement files that are missing. Alright, now it's doing some check disks. And this is checking the integrity of your system drive, if there's been any corruptions. A lot of corruptions can happen during bad restarts. So, and then now it also did some tweaks. It closed really fast. But if you check out my original video, it shows you all the things it does, but it'll run O&O Shutup 10, which I'm going to cover this because some of you guys have freaked out over this. This is O&O Shutup 10. It's a privacy tool. If you don't have Windows 10 Professional or Windows 11 Professional and you don't know how to use the group policy editor, this lets you override a lot of the privacy issues of Windows to where apps can't just talk out to the internet just because they're installed. Telemetry, which is Windows tracking the usage of your computer and doing who knows what with it. Maybe it's innocent, maybe it's not. But it does basically actions and then only recommended settings. And what this will cause is if you go into like Windows Update, for example, it'll say that some settings are managed by your organization. What it's doing here is I've made it to where you cannot force me to do a feature update. Just because every 6 months there's a feature update and says you got to install it now, I can defer them indefinitely because I've controlled it here in O&O Shutup 10. What Tron did during this last step was opened this and went to actions and only recommended settings. Only recommended settings means it's going to tweak the most reasonable privacy settings and quality of life changes without making anything not work. You can actually download this for free through O&O, and you can go to recommended and somewhat recommended settings, but that'll make some things not work right because they can't communicate out. And then apply all settings just makes you break Windows. I mean, it'll still work. It's just not a whole lot can talk out. Now, stage 7 wrap up. This one's optional, but this one's going to prepare the logs all nice. It's going to reset the power settings if they've been messed with and they're not, or they're corrupted. That's going to re-enable screensaver if you have that. So basically some final fixes that might have been messed up by malware or system corruption, but this one's totally optional. And here it's also uninstalling Malwarebytes, which is nice. That way I don't have to uninstall it myself. Okay, and then it's done. We can go down. And then custom scripts. This one is a text document which will show you all the things about doing custom scripts, which you would do it back up here in functions. Now, manual tools, we're not going to use these today, but I want to show you these because some of them are nice. Now, first Tron reset tool, if you were over here changing things, you can reset them by running the Tron reset tool. Services repair is nice if you have some kind of services issue in services.exe. This is a safe mode boot selector. This is just a little batch file that lets you select the boot up process for your next boot. If you don't know how to boot to safe mode, this is an easy way to do it. Remote support reboot config. Okay, this is a little bit server related. Net adapter repair. If you're having problems with your Wi-Fi adapter, that's kind of an old thing. I wouldn't really do that on Windows 10 or 11. Combo fix, this will bring some nostalgia to people that are tech savvy or people in our field, because this was amazing up until Windows 8. It was kind of like Tron in a way, but if you're on Windows 10 or 11, don't use it. It's kind of a scorched earth method of repairing Windows. So you have just as much chance of destroying your operating system as you do of fixing it, and it's not supported for Windows 10 or 11, so it's most likely either going to not work right or break something. Blue screen view, this will help you view any those stop codes you get when you get a blue screen of death. Auto runs, I actually have a whole video on auto runs, which you should check up here. That is for verifying, after we've done all this work, am I still infected? How do I know for a fact that I'm not infected with any virus? Did my scanners really get it? Well, Autoruns 86 is here, but this is an old version. I recommend you just follow my video to use the 64-bit new version, and I'll also show you how to use it to verify that you're safe. Adware Cleaner is a good program. If you did all of this and you still have some fake application that has a pop-up that can't be uninstalled, or something that's not technically a virus, but it's acting, maliciously, it doesn't want to obey you, then it's probably adware, which is a semi-harmful, maybe harmless, probably annoying application. that is there to generate ad revenue for the authors. Adware Cleaner is made by Malwarebytes, and it specifically goes after adware. And you just run the scan and it'll remove that adware for you. It's really good at removing cryptominers as well. And then ADSS Spy, this was another great program back in the day. I don't recommend you use this, but you can check what the authors say about them here, about what they do. And that's Stage 9 Manual Tools. Now you're done. Great job. I'm going to show you how we can check the logs and see everything that's been done. We're going to go into C:, the local disk C under File Explorer, then Logs, and under Tron folder. And then we can go ahead and check what's been quarantined, our backups, raw logs. Okay, we can check all the stuff here, but we can go to the summary. Tron remove files, Tron remove programs. If you're wondering if something got removed during Debloat, check right here. No programs were removed, Tron remove files, but yours will vary, but this will be your information. This is the whole log. It's taking a while to load because it's a big log. And this is going to tell us everything that was done. And this would be what you would see real time on my big video where I cover all the little details, but it'll say everything that was done. Congratulations on making it to the end of the video. Hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you like it, please click like and consider subscribing. Also, if this didn't work out for you, tell me in the comment section, and also check my channel because I have a lot of videos for very specific issues, and I hope to see you next time.